I'm excited to share with you today my flooring transformation with Malibu Wide Plank. As you can see, we're doing a little prep work to begin. I've removed the furniture. I'm dusting. The next thing you're going to want to do is remove the doors. Since I am floating this over the existing floors, I am having to cut all the doors down. The other thing that I didn't plan on doing, but I ended up doing, is removing the baseboards. Check out this hardwood, 3mm engineered hardwood flooring in the color Grandview. Before you start, one thing that you're going to need to do is drop a chalk line and put a temporary straight piece of wood. The reason you do this is you don't want to rely on a wall to keep your board straight, because lots of times walls aren't straight. So starting, what you're going to do is you're going to put your first board up against that wood piece and just sliding them into place. You can see when you get to an end of a row, I'm using a miter saw to make those cuts. And then, as you can see, I'm using PVA Carpenter's wood glue on all the butt ends. And also make sure to keep a 3/4 of an inch expansion space, and you can see I'm using a black spacer to keep that space. I am using a mallet, but you do need to be careful with the ends because the ends can be brittle. You can see here, once you finish the one row, you just move on to the next row. I am carefully placing the tongue and groove wood boards together. You are going to come into situations where you have to make some funny cuts. There's a couple different ways to do it. I chose to make my own little template. Once I got my template made, I used a jigsaw to cut a perfect template to slide under that door frame. When you start a flooring project like this, you need to start from and install it from the left to the right with the tongue side towards the wall with the groove side facing out from the wall. And you can see this is what I'm doing. And when I started, I'm pulling from at least 3 different boxes to make sure there is a variation in the color, just in case one of the boxes is a little tiny bit of a different tone than the other. I am using blue painter's tape. Every 4 or 5 rows, I'm laying blue painter's tape because I am floating this floor. It helps to hold it together as the glue is drying. Once you've laid the whole room, you're going to pull up that temporary piece of molding. You're going to put your last piece of flooring in, and then look at your new floor, guys. It's stunning. Once that room was done, I moved on to our master bedroom. And because I am doing multiple rooms and we are living in this space, what I did was I emptied one room out, laid the floor, waited 24 hours. You need to wait 24 hours to put the furniture back on the floor. So once I moved the furniture back to the room after 24 hours, I moved on to the next room. You can see with this room, I started the same way as I did with the first room, which is start from the left side and move to the right. One other thing I want to talk about is you want to make sure to keep a minimum stagger of 6 inches between the M-seams from row to row. This flooring features an antique finish and staining process with far more vivid color and depth that accents each piece. This process brings out the natural beauty and texture of the premium hardwood to create its elegant wire-brushed surfaced visual. Another thing I want to touch on is the underlayment. This flooring does require an underlayment or a moisture barrier. Now, because I'm laying it over top of my existing luxury vinyl planks, and they are waterproof, the LVP is acting as my underlayment. And once I finished the bedroom, I moved on to my living room, and I was easily able to finish this since these were long runs. And guys, here is the finished product. Overall, I am more excited about my floor than I ever thought I would be, and I'm smitten at how easy it was to install. The other cool thing about this rich and thick 3mm French oak veneer is that it can be resanded and refinished. Y'all, this flooring is gorgeous. Thanks again to Malibu Wide Plank for my new flooring and sponsoring this video.